So for your first drills, what we're gonna do is work on focus. It's critical when you're giving a dog commands that their eyes are on you. It's very helpful when you're working on drills if the dog is receptive or wants what you have to offer. So here I have Olive, and she's very food motivated. So I just put the treat in front of her nose, and you can see she's on my hand. First drill I'm gonna have you practice is called luring. This drill is the foundation for all the work that we're gonna do for communicating and shaping all the desired behaviors that we want. So the things that we want her to do. So all I'm gonna do is put the treat in front of her nose, like this, and then I'm just gonna move my hand while she's still nibbling on my fingers across my body. Once she gets across my body, I'm just gonna give her the treat. And I'm holding my treat like this, okay? I'm pinching it with these two fingers, and I have these three fingers off to the side. And my treat size is gonna be about the full length of my pinky nail, or even half the length of my pinky nail. We want the treats to be fairly small here. That way, if you're working with a smaller dog, they're not going to get full while you're working with them. Okay, so I'm gonna put my treat right in front of the dog's nose, and then slowly move my hand across my body with Olive following me. Once she gets across my body, I'm just gonna drop the treat. And I want you guys to do this a couple of times. Just back and forth. So typically what happens is I see a lot of people do this, where they go too fast. You see Olive doesn't know what to do. She's confused. She's trying to guess how to get the treat. So if your dog stops following your hands or does something like Olive did where she laid down, what I want you to do is just restart, go back to her nose, and then work it again. So I'm gonna go too fast this time. If I go too fast, just bring the treat back to her nose and then finish the drill. You wanna be going slowly. Let her nibble on your fingers. If your dog is nibbling on your fingers too hard, remember how we're holding the treat. We're gonna take our treat, we're gonna go in the mouth of the dog, okay? Okay, so this is the dog's mouth. We're gonna take our treat in the dog's mouth. We're gonna pull it out without giving them the treat. And then the next time they take the treat, it'll be much softer. So I'll go ahead and show you what that looks like real quick. Okay, so I go down the mouth, back out, still have the treat in my hand, and look at this time. Look how gentle that is. This has worked with every dog I've worked with. German Shepherds seem to bite the hardest for this drill, so that's just comes with the territory. Now I can go into my luring drill and let her nibble on my fingers. Good. Once you've done the luring drill and your dog is following you very well, now what we're gonna do is switch into an eye contact drill. So I'm gonna put the treat in front of her nose. I'll put it to my nose. I'm gonna say her name, Olive. Then I'm gonna put the treat in her mouth. I'll take a step back, in front of her nose, my nose, say her name, Olive. She looks at you, immediately put the treat in her mouth. You wanna go quick, so her nose, your nose, treat. Her nose, your nose, say her name, Olive, treat. Walk around, her nose, say her name, Olive, treat. The second step, her nose, behind your head, say her name, Olive, come over your head, give her the treat. Move around. Olive, give her the treat. Move around. Olive, give her the treat. Do this until you can put your hands behind your back, say her name, Olive. She looks you in the eyes, boom, bring that treat to her. Olive. Good. So with each rep, just do 10 or 15 of each one. Then, once she has the good eye contact, Olive, I say her name, she's looking at me in the eyes, so I can move on. Now what we're gonna do is go back to our luring drill, because we have her focus. We're gonna lure into a sit. So I'm gonna lure her, and then I'm just gonna take my hand and arch it over her back. I want her head to come past her shoulders. Once her head goes past her shoulder blades, her butt should sit on the ground. Okay. Bring that head up. Yes. So if we're gonna teach her what that means, we're gonna say the word when she's in the process of sitting. So it's gonna look like this. Sit. Good girl. Sit. Yes. Good girl. Sit. Yes. Good. Okay. From there, from the sit position, what we can do, get her to sit. Good. Now we're going to take the treat to her nose. I'm just going to go straight down to the ground with my hand. Okay. So I'm going straight down to the ground. I'm going to go ahead and give her a treat at this position, and then I'm going to reload. So I just put another treat in my hands. Now I'm going to pull my hand out slowly. Once she's fully down, her elbows are touching the ground. That's when she's fully down. Then I let her take the treat out of my hands. Okay, so then I'm going to lure her out of it. We're going to go back into the SIT position. Straight to the ground, down. Capture the motion of her moving to the ground with the command, the word we use for her to get down in that position. Good, she's guessing. So she's a really good student. Come on. Good, so, and if they're already getting the down, you don't have to go into the sit. It's just easier to go into the sit than the down when you're working with a new dog. But if we already have it, like Olive here, then I can just take the treat right in front of her mouth, straight to the ground, down. Once her butt's to the ground, the elbows are on the ground, drop the treat. Good girl. With some dogs, you're gonna have to press on their shoulders or pull the leash down. So what that looks like is, here we go, try to get in front of the camera for you. I'm gonna put my hand on top of the shoulder blades, right here, okay? And as we're going to the ground, I'm gonna gently push down to make sure she goes down. Not too hard that she starts to fight, but just kind of an influence to help her realize what we're saying. The other method you can use is a little bit of leash pressure. So here I can step on the leash, and then pull the leash towards the ground. Then give her a treat. So here we go again. Olive, get her eye contact. Olive, step on the leash. I may even have to use my hand. So now I'm gonna pull the leash and push on her back, then give her a treat. From here, we're gonna lure onto the placemat. So I'm gonna get her warmed up again, following my treats, following my hands, and then I'm just going to move my hand over the dog cot. I can give her a treat right there, but what I really want is all 4 of those feet on the dog cot. So I'm gonna try to make this foot land on the dog cot. I can do that by stretching her out. Good. Give her the treat. Walk away. Back onto the dog cot we go. Good, quick learner. Put her off. Now I can go ahead and do the command, Olive. So I'm luring, place, then give the treat. So I'm saying place whenever her whole body is moving to the dog cot. Olive, place. Good, she's got it really quick. Good job, Olive. So those are gonna be the first steps, laying down a solid foundation of understanding that we can build off of and pair these commands with the e-collar and leash pressure.